Hey, it's Mike. I am back and I am ready. Here we go. Let's see what's going on. We got 6781. Hey, hope you're all doing well. I'm doing great. I hope you guys are doing well. And okay, we got fake human. Hey, how you doing, fake human? High five. Justice for little girls. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. And Rafal. I got videos, man. I got all kinds of stuff. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. I've been having so much fun. The last I don't know how many. It's always been fun, but man, has it really been? We've been really just. I've been having a blast. So, hey, there we go. We got a bell, and let's see what we got. I don't have knitting cult lady, but hey, because I was telling my story, 20 years and the whole thing, and so I had some pictures that I wanted to share with you guys, but I never really got to share them. But so I'm going to share them now. So I'm going to share some pictures now. Just to get warmed up before we. The hell was that? We get warmed up here. Done das squats done. das anu das whatever. and yeah, we got bells, we got dings, we got bells. Okay, so check this out. So this Rafal was telling me about the Harry Dennis Preston. I don't know if you're in the right place, man. We don't do that here, but welcome to the deprogramming. Travis, how you doing, man? Great to see you. Great to see you here. And what was this? This was Gilbert Ramos. Good to see you, Gilbert. 6039. Absolutely. So Rafal was telling a story about being on the Parikram pot, and the cow and the guy took a dump. So this is my picture that I took. It doesn't look like that now. This was in '96, and this is from the Madonna Mohan temple, from up on top, from the temple, looking back, and it doesn't look anything like that now. I mean, this is a busy area right there. I mean, there's like all kinds of shit happening there now. But 30 years ago, and I thought it was busy back then. I mean, what did I know? So there's that. Let's see. I got a couple more. Hey, Trey Martin, how you doing? We're getting warmed up. We're getting warmed up right now. Weird Planet. Hey, high five. Good to see you. Yeah. Hey, what do you know? He's learning. Hey, how you doing, Dagmar? And yeah, he's no welcome that way, but you're welcome. Hey, I know he's trying to fit in. He'll get the hang of it. Hey, Jeff, Matthew Smith, good to see you, Jeff, and Dagmar and everybody. So here's another picture I took when I was in Vrindavan. I think this was when I went with Yashoda Nandan in 2004. Let's see. And that is at somewhere at Govardhan Hill. That's I think that's Manasa Ganga. I'm not sure. I can't remember all the names now, but that was it was really picturesque. So I snapped a shot there. That was 2004. Let's see. What else we got here? This is my first night, my first trip to Vrindavan when I was with Krishna Kata and Radha Kunda. This was like some kind of it was a Kali. It was a Kali festival, and I almost got killed because I was out there. I was taking a picture. I didn't understand what was going on, and this Kali, Mahakali, comes out waving this sword around like, and I didn't know. I had no idea what was going on, and I was standing there like these people are standing there, but I was too close, and I was trying to take this picture, and I was snapping some pictures, and I snapped this picture, and I was trying to snap another one, and someone yanked me, some Indian guy just yanked me out of the way and started yelling at me like, what the hell are you doing? You're going to get killed. And then right after that, this guy comes with his sword and is just whacking away at everybody and everything. And and if I hadn't gotten out of the way, I don't know if I would have been killed, but I would have been severely, I would have been severely injured. And and that's what, and it would have been like, well, that's your karma, and you got killed in Vrindavan by Kali in this festival. It would have been, anyway, I wasn't looking forward to it. I wasn't looking forward to it. Yeah, Kalia got from Madan Mohan. Yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures. I actually had it blown up and framed up on in my apartment, and along with some other pictures that I took, and I just left them. I left them there when I left. Funny, I went to Vrindavan in 2004. Oh, guess we were there. We were there at the same time. Only with my old friend Englishman from Malaysia. Maybe we brushed by each other. Yeah, that magical mystery syndrome. But yeah, the good old days, the good old days, my good old days. They weren't good; they were just days. It was the days, the old days. There's nothing good about them. Yeah, so 2004. Yeah, so you probably, you if you were hanging around the temple there, you probably ran into or saw Radhakunda there because he was like lecturing and hanging out, and he was like the Prabhupada disciple, and 2004. So I was there with Yashodanandan and his son and my nephew, and we were hanging out. Okay, so let's see. I think I got one or two more. This is kind of a cool one. So in Rishikesh, if anybody's ever been to Rishikesh, you go to Lakshman Jula or Ram Jula, and then up the hill, because in one side is the river. It's really cool. It's a great place to go. The river's there, and then behind you is this mountain. There's a mountain there, and you go up the mountain, and up at the top of the mountain is this temple, this Shiva temple, and it's amazing. And let me tell you, it's a scary ass ride up that mountain. You stayed at the Fogel Ashram. Yeah, the Fogel Ashram. I walked by that. Krishna Balaram Swami. The Fogel Ashram. I walked by it like all the time. So yeah, I actually stayed. Oh my God, 2004. I don't remember where I was staying in 2004. I don't remember where I was staying. But Yashodananda was staying at the Radha Raman temple because he knows the people. The Radha Raman temple? Radha Raman temple. Radha Raman temple is where Yashoda was staying because he knows he knows the family that runs the temple. He knows those people in there. So he just stayed. He was staying in the temple in one of those rooms that they have in the this 400-year-old temple or whatever. But anyway, he was staying in there, and I was staying on the other side. I was staying by Krishna Balaram temple. I can't remember where I was staying. yeah, my candy, my cotton candy hair. My cotton candy hair is blowing in the wind because it's hot as fuck here, and I gotta have a fan. I gotta have a fan blowing. I gotta have a fan blowing. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. Rishikesh, amazing place. Yeah, so you go. I don't know if you've been there, Rafal, but you go up the mountain and there's this uh, Neelkant Mahadev temple, and Padmanabh Swami. That's the guy. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Padmanabh Swami. He knows him. You know them too. Yeah, that's so you know where I'm talking about. He was like in those rooms that are down in the bottom of that down in the temple. When you walk in, there's like these rooms on the bottom floor, and he was staying in one of those. He was staying in one of those rooms. So crazy shit. It is. It's crazy shit. So you go up to this Neelkant Mahadev temple, and it's an amazing temple. You go there, it's a great time. And then you go when you get inside. You get inside because there's like a line. It's a lot of people there. You've been there too. You've been there too. Yeah, awesome, man. It's great. I'm glad you can you can tell them. You say Mike's not lying. Uh, you get in there. It looks like this, and they let me take a picture. So it was you're not supposed to take pictures in there, but if you're in there and you're dressed like a devotee and you're all humble, you can get away with stuff. So I had my camera with me, but it says no pictures. It says no pictures, but the guy saw my camera and he's like, "You can take a picture if you want." And so I was like, "Oh shit!" And so I took my I popped my camera out and started snapping some photos. And so I guess those are from all the gurus that when they pass away, they just add their little stick to the collection. So it's pretty cool. It's like National Geographic. It's like being in National Geographics, man. I got to tell you, and that's one of the reasons why I like India is like it's old and there's cool stuff like that, and I love it. I love it. It's awesome. Um, so here's another one, and I don't remember where this was. I'm sorry, people. I just don't remember. This was taken with a real camera, and so there's no there's no GPS. There's no GPS or anything. It's just a photo. So, but it's again, I don't know where it was taken. It's Nishingadev. It's a Nishingadev deity, and it was probably somewhere in Rishikesh, but I can't. I don't know. I'm guessing it could have been in Govardhan. It could have been anywhere. It could have literally been any. It could have been anywhere. But it is pretty cool. It is. I like seeing that kind of stuff. It's just makes the whole thing worthwhile. So let's see. Some of these pictures so this is what I was looking for last night. I couldn't find it. Of course, it's right here. Of course, it's right here. So for those of you that have been to Vrindavan recently, you know what it looks like now. But this is what it looked like. This was 96. So this was 30 years ago. And this is right in front of the Krishna Balaram temple. It doesn't look like that now. Now it's like now it looks like the circus. It looks like a circus. It's crazy. I couldn't believe when I hadn't been there, and I hadn't been to Vrindavan in a long time. I hadn't been there in like 9 years or something like that. And like 11 years. I hadn't been to Vrindavan in like 11 years, and I went back, and I couldn't believe it. I was expecting it to look like this. I was expecting it to look like that, and it don't look anything like that. So that's show and tell. I got more pictures, but I'm gonna get. I think we've warmed up enough here. Some really cool pictures because I feel like there's a lot of people that they don't believe me. They don't believe that I was a Hare Krishna, or they don't believe, like I just some angry old guy. Oh, here's one I took. This one I like. I like to take these kind of pictures, and uh, this was on the side of a building at Govardhan Hill. Of course, there's Krishna holding up the thing, but I like it with the. It's got the bricks and the writing. I like taking pictures of like murals and street art and different types of different kinds of cool stuff like that. So going to India and finding stuff like that was really, it was great. I'm taking pictures. I'm enjoying myself. Um, so I spent a lot of time as a tourist and not as uh, a fanatical. Like when I went with Yashoda Nandan, it's like he didn't want to do, he didn't want to do stuff like just go walk around and go to. In fact, we went to Govardhan Hill. We went to Govardhan Hill, and we're in a taxi, and it's me and my nephew, and my nephew, my Yashoda and his son. My my nephew's grown; he's a grown man. My nephew, Yashoda, and Yashoda's like 13-year-old son, and then my friend, my Indian friend Mahesh, and the taxi driver. So it's it's a crowded, and so we're cruising around Govardhan Hill, and Rafal, you know what that's like. We're cruising, we're cruising around Govardhan Hill, and some of you others know that. I forget who else is here, but you would know. Maybe Wow or Harry and Dagmar, Weird Planet. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys would know. So we're driving around. And we were stuck in like traffic or something. And my friend Mahesh goes, "Hey, do you want to? I'm gonna jump out. I'm gonna jump out and grab." He goes, "I'm gonna jump out and grab like some like samosas or something that they were selling, something so we could eat because we're like just sitting there, we're like stuck in traffic." He goes, I'm gonna jump out and get some stuff. You guys want anything?" And I was like, "I'm gonna get out too. I'm gonna get out with you," because I was sitting next to the door. I go, "I'm gonna get out too. I'll get out with you, and we'll both go." And I open the door and I jump, and as I'm getting out, Yashoda's having a fit. He's like, "No, don't go, stay," because and he's trying to be, he's trying to be controlling. One thing, he's trying to be Swami. He's trying to be controlling. He's got this big personality, and he's a big guy, so he's trying to be in charge of everything. And he's like, "No, just stay in the car." And I'm like, "No, I'm getting out." And he's like, "No, no, no, stay in the car. We all need to stay here. We all need," and he's trying to like give direction. He's trying to give direction and everything. And I was like, "No, I'm getting out. I'm just like, I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. I'm getting out." And that's what I said. He goes, "No, no, no, you got to stay in this." And I said, "No, I'm getting out." And he's like, "No, no, no, you got to stay in the car." And I said, "No, I'm getting out, man. I'm grown." And I opened the door and I got out, and I just, because it was like we were like in Govardhan. We were like in this town of Govardhan, and it was all crazy, and crowds of people and everything. And I love that shit. I love that shit. It's like, why am I gonna? And while I'm getting out, his son, because you know how Hare Krishnas are, his son is going, "Dad, he's going anyway. He's going anyway." He like stop him. He's telling his dad, like, "You got to stop him. He's going anyway." Like, "Dad, he's going, Dad, Dad." And then I could hear. I was already out of the car, and I could hear Yashoda say, "Well, he wants to do his own thing. He wants to do his own thing." And it irritated me. Like, yeah, I want to do my own. I'm doing. I can do that. I can do that. But it irritated him. Hey, Jai Ganapati. Yeah. So you got the warm up everything, and we got right into this. I didn't do the opening, so I'm not gonna do the opening today. All pioneer ISKCON founding hippie devotees know better. Yeah, he's just, he doesn't do that. So he's like, well, it wasn't. Yeah, it is absolutely it is. It's a scammer's paradise. But we weren't getting out. We weren't. I wasn't. We were. He was going to buy some. He was going to buy some samosas from one of these guys that's selling samosas, and I wanted to get out of the car, stretch my legs, get some fresh air, get some fresh air, and just stand there. Maybe maybe I want to take a photograph or something. Maybe just be. I just want to be. I want to be me. I want to be me. And he's just trying to control. Yeah, he's absolutely. He's just trying to control and manipulate his other people with their dumb guilt tripping, and it pissed me off. It pissed me off. Like it's a subtle thing. And the fact that his son was like, and then he's like explaining to his son that, well, he wants to do his own thing. The whole thing, because that's why I remember it, because it was like this, and so I've been to India 2 times. It was nice actually, except the part where you get super sick and end up spending days. Yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun at all. And you don't like it when you're sick and people are telling you you're not being devotional enough and you're not this body and, it's your karma and, good thing you're getting sick now because you're burning. I don't want to hear your cult bullshit. I don't want to hear your cult bullshit, That was it. As soon as I got out of the car and I didn't have to deal with Yashoda anymore, I was like, hey, man, this is fun. I'm having a good time now. I don't have to listen to him bitching about Ritviks and bitching about gurus and bitching and bitching and bitching about everything that I've heard a million fucking times. It's just like you go to it's just like Rafal he'll tell you the same thing. He's with Indra Yumna Swami. And I guarantee you, Indra Yumna Swami, when he's in his own room and Rafal's getting him his lunch or whatever, and he's doing all that. He's just like Tamal Krishna. He's just like Rameshwar and all the rest, and he's just like Yashodananda because they learned it. They learned this shit, and a pain in the ass, and just like not a pleasant person, but like just like a normal person. They're not that holy man anymore that they're pretending to be. Bitching about this, bitching about that. It's. It's a beautiful country. Yeah, they just need to like sweep it up and rake and maybe come through with some dumpsters and put a lot of that trash in the dumpsters. That's what they need to do. Yeah, purification. Yeah, you're getting purified. You're getting purified, man. It's Radharani, the dust of Oh, yeah, give me a break with that shit. Okay, so, a lot of you talking about this Justice for Prabhupada scam. What's this Justice for Prabhupada scam? Now that I know I didn't do the opening, I'm really missing that opening, but I'm going to go ahead and just bite the bullet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and move right on in to this Prabhupada thing. Let me see. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? Am I still there? Am I still there with you guys? Okay. Okay. Take a look at this. I got it up right here. It's this Justice for Srila Prabhupada Foundation. And where is it? Okay. And it's just a scam. I just came across, I know it existed, but I just came across this webpage. I think this webpage is new. Yeah, it says Justice for Srila Prabhupada Foundation, dedicated to advocating for the safety and rights of children in ISKCON schools while working to restore Prabhupada's divine mission and eliminate deviations from his teachings and final instructions. And, let me get on screen here. This is such bullshit. And I know you're all like, Mike, you say everything's bullshit. Everything is bullshit. It's like, It's all bullshit. But this, what the fuck is this justice for Prabhupada? Prabhupada's the guilty one. Prabhupada's the one that's cause of all this shit. And what's this? What is this? Advocating for the safety and rights of children in ISKCON. Well, how are you advocating for the safety and rights of children when you're marrying girls off and you haven't denounced any of that? You haven't denounced it. It's still happening. God damn it, it's still happening. Look at this. And this was on the Reddit page, but it's also on Paranjan's page. So I know Paranjan is watching and reading and all of this. Because he shared this too, and he had no comment on this. I'll talk about this for like an hour and a half. He had no comment on this, but it says right here, this was just posted. This was just 22 hours ago on the Reddit X Hare Krishna. It says, "I'm a 17-year-old male devotee from America." He's from America. Now I don't know if he's Indian and he was born in America and he's in India. I don't know if he was American and he's in India now. It doesn't say, but for some reason it sounds like he's in India, but I can't. He says, "I'm a 17-year-old male devotee from America. I will admit that I have not faced any serious abuse like many people within ISKCON have. However, I have been through very unsettling experiences." So I don't know, maybe he grew up maybe he's in the Gurukula, maybe he grew up in the Gurukula. Maybe he's American, but he's in India in the Gurukula, in Mayapur or Vrindavan. He just doesn't say. But he says, "I started going to an ISKCON temple at 15. So evidently he didn't grow up in it. "I started going to an ISKCON temple at 15. I came to the temple on weekends and school breaks to do seva." And that's why it sounds like he's in India. I don't know. It started simply I don't know. It started simply, and all was well. Eventually, one of the elder devotees at this temple started talking with me. He told me that I am a good and strong devotee. He eventually introduced me to his daughter, who was 12. I thought nothing of this at first, but after a while, he began asking me what I planned to do going forward. I said, "Once I am out of school, I want to live in the ashram and be a brahmachari." He seemed offended by me saying this and started telling me I should be a householder because I'm a good man. Over time, he mentioned this more and more. Eventually, he started trying to get me to consider marriage with his daughter. At this point, I was 16 and she was 13. He became oddly obsessed with me marrying her and said that I will make good Krishna-conscious children with her, even saying your genetics will mix so well. This made me very uncomfortable. Another time he brought his daughter to the kitchen while I was cleaning. He instructed me to tell her what to do and to let her clean so I can see how a good husband treats his wife. Eventually I decided to tell other elder devotees and people in the temple about this, and it making me uncomfortable. I was told that he is just looking after me and his daughter and that he is trying to set me up for success. Now the man and his family is in Mayapur. So I think this guy's in India, but he says he's from America. Now the man and his family is in Mayapur, and I'm not sure if they live there now or if they are just having a long stay. I also learned that I am not the only male devotee which this man has said these things to. He has also seemingly tried to arrange a marriage between his daughter and a 19-year-old. I'm sorry for the long post, or if it is not the kind of stuff that is typically posted here. However, I have had nowhere else to go with this since many people say that this man had no ill intentions. And it is not just about me being uncomfortable all the time. I worry about his daughter, but I don't know what to do. Okay, before I get into these responses, I don't know if any of you already read this, but holy bullshit. Crazy. Poor kid. Are you talking about the boy or the girl? Because they're both abused now. This boy has been he's not as abused as the daughter, but I mean he's a young man and already he's being har- harassed and harangued for to marry this young girl. He knows it's wrong. He has problems with it in his head. They're telling him it's okay. The people around him don't seem to care. He's like, wait, man, this isn't right. You know, now he's 16, and then he learns that the guy's trying to marry her off to a 19-year-old man, and he's like, man, this is not right. And then, you know, I think he says in here that he wants to be he wants to join the ashram. He says, but after a while, he began asking me what I plan to do going forward. I said, once I'm out of school, I want to live in the ashram and be a brahmachari. So he's going to the temple, he's hanging out, but he's already has some weird feelings about this, and he's going to the ex Hare Krishna webpage, and he's posting this because he can't get any feedback from any normal people about whether this whether this is right or wrong. And I don't mean to laugh, but I am a comedian, and I don't think it's funny. I think it's disgusting. I think it's harmful. I think the daughter is in danger. Well, you know, we know the daughter's in danger. But this boy's been abused. He's going to grow up he's going to continue to be in this cult that just tried to marry him off to a 12, 13-year-old girl. And he knows it's wrong. He doesn't know what to do about it, but he's brainwashed into this thing where he's like, well, I'm going to join the ashram and be a brahmachari. I don't want to marry a 12-year-old girl. And he's going to be conditioned to believe that it's okay. And maybe one day he is going to end up with a 12-year-old wife, because a year from now or 2 years from now, and he's in the brahmachari ashram, and they've brainwashed him into saying, look, you know, you used to think that was wrong, but it's not wrong. It's not wrong. Prabhupada had an 11-year-old wife. We got 12-year-old girls we got to marry. And he's like, well, okay, I guess so. Yeah, you know, and you're like, Mike, you're crazy. I'm like, I'm not crazy. This is happening now. This is happening. Okay, so this is happening now. Where did this guy get the idea that you should marry a 19-year-old, marry your 12-year-old daughter off to a 19-year-old man? Where the fuck are they getting this idea? Well, we know from this conversation right here. Now, how the hell are these people? How the hell are these people protecting children when they're teaching people to marry their 12-year-old daughters off to grown men? And then you want to sit here and say, well, we're the Justice for Prabhupada Foundation. We're dedicated to advocating for the safety and rights of children. Well, what about the safety and the rights of that 12-year-old girl that this man is trying to marry off to some guy, anybody he can find? He meets some man. He's like, hey, you want to marry my daughter? I mean, what the fuck is that? And these people are talking about justice for Prabhupada, and he's the one that's teaching this shit. I mean, you got to be fucking. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is this? I gotta get it. Where is it?
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Am I the only one? Am I the only one that says, why are these people creating a 501c asking for fucking donations? You want people to donate to you, donate by wire transfer, account name, justice, this and that. What the fuck? Routing number, donate by check, donate by Zelle. We're a 501c, Justice for Prabhupada, non-profit. These people with their 501cs, and this is my evil twin, with their 501cs, and they're always making some scam. They're always making some scam. They don't want to make. They don't want to raise money on this shit. Like just a temple raising money and gurus breaking in cash. That ain't enough. Now they're gonna create some fucking phony ass Justice for Prabhupada Foundation and raise money on that. So now Naveen Krishna and these other fuckers can make money pretending to care about kids while meanwhile they got these child marriages going on. And ain't no one of them. Where are these people talking about child marriage is wrong? They know that it's in their teachings. They know this conversation exists, and they know it now. They know it now. Justice for a rapist, racist, homophobic, and scam guru is crazy, diabolical work.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Excuse me. I'm sorry, man. It bust my fucking balls. Their teachings were made to destroy one's self-worth just to control and manipulate them to serve with mind, body, and soul. Pure BS. And all they've learned how to do is just scam money. We had a 501c, you showed a Nandan, oh, we're going to have this Hare Krishna Society, and it's going to be 501c because then people can donate, and then, we're tax-free, and, we're a religion, and we had to file paperwork and explain how we were a religion, but we had to explain how we were different. Because when you file, you got to explain your intent. What's the intent of your 501c? Why are you tax exempt? Oh, you're a religion. How are you a religion? And we had to put this in, and I had to fill that shit out because I was the secretary. I was the secretary of the Hare Krishna Society, and you showed an like a dumb fuck. He speaks French and Canadian. He's French Canadian. Speaks French. He's English. He can speak English, but he says he can't read it or write it, or I think he's as dumb as a stump. So I had to do all that shit, and I'm like, and I just felt like, are we really a religion? I mean, it's like 8 of us, and we're doing this. I was like, it felt scammy. It felt scammy, but I mean, that's what they do. That's their MO. Send the link. You want the link to this Prabhupada thing? Let me see if I can. Can I do that? Let me see. What do we got? I got I got back on this. ISKCON is wrong about the soul as well. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own opinion about that. That crazy Krishna's dad. That crazy Krishna dad is a real pimp. It's hard out there for a pimp. Most dads in America won't even let daughters seriously date until they're 18. I know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. That dad's a real pimp as the whole world. Has
the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, no, we don't. Okay, I mean, hey, if you want to, when I'm able to, if you want to buy me a coffee, I'll take a coffee. What's that other one? What's that? Vancha Kalpas Tarabayascha Kripa Sindhu. I don't even. I've spent 5 years. So you were 5 years in, like, at one time, like you spent the whole 5 years. That's Wow, like I never did that. I never did anything like that. I never did anything like that. Yes, that's what I'm saying. These fools were taught to scam by the very grand master fraudster, probo freak. Yes, yes, they learned how to like fill out the paperwork for a 501c and scam the government and scam anybody that came in, anybody they come in contact with, they're scamming. You are more one than anyone. Anyone. Yeah, and justice should be for the innocent victims who were molested, raped, abused, and manipulated. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if there was a justice for Jim Jones, or like a justice for Charlie Manson, or there was a justice for David Koresh, or like justice for L. Ron Hubbard? L. Ron Hubbard has been L. Ron Hubbard has been maligned. We need a justice for L. Ron Hubbard. We need to clear his name. This is wrong. This is horrible. You gotta be crazy. So let's see what it says. It says, God damn it. I gotta move all my stuff. The Justice for Srila Prabhupada Foundation is dedicated to restoring the pure teachings. What pure teachings need to be? What pure teachings of Srila Prabhupada and ensuring the safety, rights, and rights of children in ISKCON schools? Such bullshit. Our mission focuses on reinstating Srila Prabhupada's unadulterated teachings to inspire future generations and correcting deviations from his original instructions. So they're first of all, let me just explain something, okay? This is all of his instructions are right here in this Veda base. It's right here. We can all see it. We can all read it. It's everything. Okay? It's everything. It's everything. It's everything. It's let me go over here. It's everything. It's all of his books. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Instruction. It's everything. Everything is online on this Veda base. You've got Ishopan. I mean, you got everything. You got everything right there. And you know, I'm not trying to brag or anything because I know Rafal's read everything too. I've read all these books. I read every single one of these books, and some of them I read more than once. A lot of them I read more than once. And I owned. I didn't own some of these ones that weren't written by Prabhupada. And I also the Lilamrita, that huge fake biography. That huge fake biography. This one, this Lilamrita, the whole thing, it's online. You can read all the lies. Everything is right here. So what are they talking about? The unadulterated and blah 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 blah. What are they talking about? I don't. His teachings are there. What is so? What is because of the Ritviks? The Ritvik thing is they want to blame all of this bullshit because of these gurus. Because of these gurus that Prabhupada taught and interacted with for 11 years, face to face, gave him darshan every fucking day. He had Tamal Krishna was his personal secretary. All of these guys were right there. Yashoda and Kirtanananda. That blows my mind. Kirtanananda and Jaya Tirtha and Rameshwar and Harikesh and all of these guys were with Prabhupada every fucking day for years. If not every day, they were with him a lot, more than we could ever dream of being. And what did they learn? Where all the chanting, all the fire sacrifices, all the bullshit? What did it do? What did it do? One guy got his head cut off. Another guy ended up in jail. One guy ended up shot in jail. I mean, and you just want to blame it on these guys when obviously, if you want to blame it on them, then you got to blame Prabhupada too, because What the fuck? He couldn't teach them anything right. He couldn't teach anybody right from wrong or what was the right thing to do. No, he taught them exactly. They're doing exactly what he taught them to do. Marry children to 19-year-old men. Scam everybody you can. Sell these books. Just keep on doing what you were doing. He didn't say, when Prabhupada, he didn't say, don't do what you're doing now. They just kept on doing what they're doing. And these fuckers want to blame everything on them when they're doing what he was doing. They're little Prabhupads. All their blame shit, look, and even this with their, they poisoned Prabhupada. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I was scrolling through this, this thing about evidence, forensic evidence. Their forensic evidence is about, for this poison thing, is about as strong as their evidence for a 5,000-year-old Vedic culture or whatever, and all this stuff about cadmium poison and arsenic poison and all this stuff, and then they want to come down here at the bottom and they want to say this is proof that there's no proof of anything. It's just all more of their bullshit, and all it is a way to get devotees to donate money to these fuckers. It's nothing but a big fucking scam. They're never going to prove anything about poisoning. They're never gonna take anybody to court. It is all a bunch of crap. And the fact that they're trying to make more money off of it, all their bullshit, and these people and all this. Okay, so that shit pisses me off because I know that this is a scam. First of all, you can't help children if you're marrying them off at 12 years old. That you can't. And then teaching these boys that they're going to get that they're going to have a 12-year-old wife, or that they need to be this and that. When tell their he said, tell my daughter what to do so she knows how to act around a husband. You just tell her whatever you want her to do, and she'll make her. And what the fuck is that? Fucking up this kid's mind. Fucking up this little girl's life. Fucking up this boy's mind. He's not a real devotee unless he's barking out orders to his wife and she's submitting to him and massaging his feet. All this bullshit. This is fucking disgusting. Hey, Hayden, how you doing, man? This is great to see you here. Great to see everyone here. And how did you survive 5 years in India? I can't go more than a week. Yeah, how did you survive? I mean, I don't know if I could do. I don't know if I could. Actually, I've thought about like going and staying there for like 3 or 4 months. But now that I'm doing this Hare Krishna stuff, I ain't going anywhere. I ain't going anywhere near. No way. Yeah, 5 years is a long time. Yeah, 501c tax free for His Grace Money Swami, Gilbert Ramos. Yeah, 6039. Yeah, that's what he taught him. He taught him how to do that. He taught him how to scam and create these organizations and this and just write everything off as tax free, as a tax free. Tax exempt. Everything's tax exempt. Make a donation. Make a donation. It's tax exempt. For the that's the poison. Where is it? Here it is. Support our case. It says right here. No compensation or salaries will be paid to devotees working on this initiative out of pocket. Out-of-pocket expenses will be paid as approved by the executive team, and regular reports will be provided on how funds are utilized. Bullshit. There ain't going to be no friggin' reports on how funds are utilized. If donations exceed the campaign's goal, the excess will be carried over to the following year. So they expect to just live off this. They expect to just have money coming in year after year. And it's going to money in the U.S. It's going to Wells Fargo in San Francisco. It's going to, you can mail a check to Alachua, Florida. You can Zelle it right over to your bank by Zelle. You can donate with PayPal. I sent him a comment. I sent him a comment. I was going to send him a comment. I sent him a comment asking him. It says down here at the bottom where it says, you want to send us a comment, be the first to comment. Well, I guess I was the first to comment because I commented and I was like, what the fuck? You protect children? And I sent him that quote. Like, what is this? 19-year-old man, a 12-year-old girl? How is that? How are you protecting that? And then I put, I'm waiting for your reply. So we'll see what happens. It's a scam pradaya. Absolutely. Hey, you want to know who's doing this bullshit? Let's see who's doing this bullshit. Some of us already know who's doing it. Where is it? So you got this guy, this Ajay Garg. I don't know who these are the people that are like the lawyers and they're all devotees. Nobody else would do this bullshit. No, nobody would bother with this if they weren't Hare Krishna or Hare Krishna adjacent. But okay, so that's. Wait, let me. It's a scammer. Where does it say? Yeah, here it is. I'm sorry, I was on this page before. This page. Director, Naveen Krishna Das. Okay, you want to read about what he did? This scammer? Naveen Krishna was born into a family of Vaishnavas in 1947. How unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. In New Delhi. And from the earliest age, here we go with the magical mystery story. From the earliest age, Naveen was attracted to Ramayana and Mahabharata and the temple deities, I'm shocked. This is my shocked face. In 1970, after earning his bachelor's degree from the Indian Institute of Technology, he entered the University of Illinois, where he got 2 master's degrees in civil engineering and business administration, graduating in the top of his class, but he still thinks that there's a demon head eating the moon. During his college days in Illinois, he received a Bhagavad Gita. There it is. He received a Bhagavad Gita when he was at the University of Illinois, and copies of Back to Godhead. And he knew right then he found the perfect teacher and spiritual master. So just like his spiritual master, he got scammed when he was in college and decided he was going to just dedicate the rest of his life to washing this guy's feet and drinking the fucking water. Naveen's career took him to Detroit, where he associated with the followers of Prabhupada, received his first initiation in 1975. When Prabhupada visited Detroit in 1975, he resided at Naveen's apartment. Oh my goodness. Prabhupada personally gave Naveen Krishna Das the Gayatri mantra and Brahmin thread. Prabhupada directly expressed to the local GBC he wanted Naveen to serve in management. All this bullshit. All this friggin' bullshit. So what did Naveen learn? He learned how to be a freaking scammer. And I met the guy. He came out to and he met with Yashoda, and we were all there, and it was, I don't know, it was some kind of a Ritvik thing. In 1992, Naveen Krishna founded the ISKCON Foundation. So I guess it was around 2000. 1994, the ISKCON governing body requested Naveen to become GBC Minister of Management and Finance till 2000. And Naveen Krishna Das served on the GBC body. So Naveen saw and realized that with clarity that a few persons were misleading and misguiding the vast majority of those positions of leadership in ISKCON. Yeah, he became a Ritvik, and he came out to LA. He came out to LA, and we had like some kind of a program or something. See, I'm like Forrest Gump. I was like Forrest Gump, so he was there, and I remember meeting him, and I was like, oh, you're Prabhupada disciple. Naveen is a highly successful real estate professional. Who cares? So what? His vision is to dedicate himself to fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's vision, which is to establish a house in which the whole world can live peacefully in love, affection, and trust. Bullshit. He's dedicated to this pedophile cult. He's dedicated to protecting people like Tattva Darshan, and he encourages this child marriage, protects pedophiles. Bullshit. And then he scams with this friggin' bullshit with the poison and this justice for Prabhupada. Give me a break. And you're not protecting any children. There you go. That's the one. Vancha kalpa taravyas cha kripa sindhu eva cha patitanam pavan nebio vaishnavayo namo namaha. That's the I wasn't bowing down to no Radha Kun and saying a prayer to him after he took me to friggin' whatever that place, whatever that ping pong ball show, whatever that place he took me to. He ain't getting. Yeah, Rafael can write a book. Rafael should definitely write a book. I mean, he was like Diary of a Traveling Swami's assistant. What are your thoughts on 10 offenses they say to begin cult indoctrination early in the morning? The 10 offenses. Yeah, I remember hearing them recite that and reciting that at the LA Temple in the morning. Like, when do they do that? That's like after Mangalarti, right before Tulsi, or after? I don't remember. I don't remember that. That's funny. Yeah, justice for X. How about justice for Salochan? Yeah, justice for X Swami Tirthadas. Yeah, justice for Tirtha. This is a fucking insanity. Yeah, what are the 10 offenses? Don't sneeze on a Vaishnava. Don't do the 10 offenses. Yeah, all devotees doing the pig also use a fake nonprofit, lie, and deceive. They call it collecting. Basically, it's called scamming and stealing vulnerable people's money. Yeah, it's called. Yeah, it's the Bunko Squad. The Bunko Squad calls those people con artists and scammers, and they arrest them and they take them to jail. But because it's a religion and they claim religion, we're a religion. They get to scam people all day. They get to scam people all day long. They get to scam people as a full-time job with these books and shortchanging people with books and saying, well, hey, we're feeding kids in India. Can you donate? You ain't no feeding no kids in India. It's such a scam. Just like this justice for Prabhupada. They ain't get no justice for nobody. And let me show you that. This, where is it here? And then we're getting into some videos. Okay, so this is what does it say? Oh my goodness, I would not have survived and would have succumbed to being ill. You had diarrhea and days from drinking tap water, even if it's boiled. Yeah, I gotta. Can you sterilize that foot water for me? I have a chucha. What is it? What does it say? A chucha Keshavadas. A chucha Keshavadas. Hey, you have your cult name. You still in the cult? If you're in the cult, hang out and maybe we can help you out with that. Gilbert Ramos. I was hanging out with Radhakund in '82. We certainly didn't do any meth or weed. Apparently, I missed out. Yeah, he probably didn't feel comfortable with you, dude. He probably didn't feel comfortable with you, or that's all I can say. you know, you were probably too pucka for him, and he wasn't going to break out. He wasn't going. Oh, that's funny, man. Yeah, he was a good guy. I liked him. He was a scammer. He was a scammer, and but they all are. They all are, and I was too, because when I was working with the Hare Krishna Society, I was, filling out papers saying we were a religion and we were this, and my apartment was a temple, and we were a nonprofit, and I had to explain how we were different from ISKCON. I had to explain how we were different from, and it was like, well, we don't, we have a different system of initiation, and I was scamming to get I mean, I answered everything, technically everything was right. I mean, we were different than ISKCON. We had a different system of initiation. We were like a Hindu thing. So it wasn't really lying. It's scamming. It's not really lying. It's scamming. So, because I'm not into that. I'm not that kind of person. Like Radhakund would be like, oh yeah, let's scam them. Let's see if we can get some money too from the government. Let's write a grant. Let's get a grant and get 20 grand from the government, and then I'll just boogie off to Bangkok, and then I'll live in Bangkok for as long as I can. That's Radhakund. Me, I was just like, oh shit, I gotta sign this form, and am I being honest? Is this, because it says, do you swear that this is true? Whereas these guys, they don't give a fuck. Their attitude is, if we can scam, then we can scam. It's like it's like their attitude is like, we're above the law. We don't scamming. Fuck. Why are you complaining about that? I can't even remember what the 10 offenses are now. I can't either, man. I can't chant unattentively, to turn your back to the deities, to point your feet at the deities, to eat in front of the deities, I think. I mean, I know these are offenses, things you're not supposed to do, but I don't know. I'm not sure what the 10 offenses are that they say in the morning, and everybody repeats those 10 offenses, but to Deva, that's so great. You read all the books. Yeah, I read all the books. I know what's in them. I was in it for 20 years. I know what's in them. I'm not a guru. I was not a guru or anything. I'm just, I just recently became Bhakti Venmo Sri Mukunda Swami. It's easy to forget because it's all fairy tales. It's all meaningless. It's all meaningless. Like for me now, it's like a book that I read, like if I read Harry Potter, or I read, let's say I read like a James Bond, but I read it 25 years ago, and I liked it. I wouldn't remember everything in there that I liked, but I would just have the memory that I liked it. So it's like that. I read everything. I didn't memorize it. I didn't, commit it to memory or anything like that. But I read everything, and then hanging out with these devotees, it's like I heard everything. I heard everything. I've experienced it all. There's nothing. Yeah. Prabhupada wrote a lame little book entitled "Who is Crazy?" I read that one. His photo on the cover, it looks insane. You should write a rebuttal. Who is really the crazy one? You know what? I think I'll do that. I think I'll do something like that. Like I'll do like a book review. We'll do like a Oprah book review, like a book club, like an anti-book club. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that. I like that. Srimad, Srimad, that's a good idea. Achutya, who's your guru, please? Funky name, no offense. I would say you're no longer than 8 years in ISKCON. You're proud disciple, then name your Diksha guru. Yeah, who's your guru, man? Namaste, Narashinga. Yeah, that one. Hey, you're a Ritvik. Who did the ceremony? Who did your swaha and your who did your fire ceremony? Retards are us mental incarnate. Yeah, absolutely, man. I know. Now we're getting somewhere.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Ritvik, y'all are the same, cut from the same cloth. Yeah, he's my he's my god brother. He's my god brother. Who's your initiation? Who did your swahas? It's really is all fairy tales but dark, because they want you to live in a mystical world that doesn't even exist, and they make you cry and repent for your sins. But yeah, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote the worst. Yeah, it is. And then I show you those videos of these women, and they look so depressed. They look so depressed, man. Mike exposed to Bangalore scam, so I'm out of there with Tattva Darshan. Oh, so you're Madhu Pandit did yeah, Tattva Darshan, man. It's everywhere, and that really bummed me out. It was like, this shit's everywhere. Why is it everywhere? Like, why can't Yashoda say that this is wrong? Why can't these guys say it's wrong? Oh, we sit here all day and night and talk about how ISKCON is wrong, and they're full of pedophiles, and they're full of pedophile protectors, and their gurus are full of shit, and all of this stuff, day and night, day and night, day and night. And then you have an opportunity to say, fuck you to Tattva Darshan. We don't want your child molesting ass, anywhere around us, and you can't do it. You can't do it. Why? Because Jitterati and everybody says that if your 12-year-old girl is just, that's no problem. It's insane. It's insane.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, imagine having a darshan of a mad failed chemist snuffing in the middle of the night, writing up fabricate, and that's where it goes. Like, one thing leads to another. One thing leads to another. You go. Well, these gurus are bogus, right? They're not obviously they're not pure devotees, and not only are they not pure devotees, hey, they're molesting little kids. Not only they're molesting little kids, all these kids have been molested. Hey, and not only that, but they won't kick these gurus out. And hey, now there's a new guru that just molested, Lokanath Swami. We're not going to kick him out either? What the fuck? And then you go, well, what? And then, fuck those gurus. These Ritviks say that it's the gurus. So the Ritviks are like, we're not with that bullshit. We're not with that bullshit. We're not with those pedo gurus and those protecting guru pedophiles. We're not with any of that. We're the real deal. We're with Prabhupada. And then they're with Tattva Darshan, who's went to jail for being with an underage girl in another country, in a country where that shit goes on. And then they can't say. Then they can't. They're doing this. So then, well, why? Why this pedophilia? Why this just giving everybody a pass? Why do they give everybody a fucking pass? Well, let's find out. Is it because of the Veda base and what Prabhupada says in here? Is that what it is? Is it because of conversations like this? where he's telling them to marry 12-year-old girls, and that he was married at 11 years old, and that it's Vedic and there's nothing wrong with it. There's no objection. I married my wife. She was 11 years old. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the fucking problem. Little girls being raped and then sold off. I mean, married off with some 26-year-old guy, takes her off to India, and he's going to rape her in India. And then she's got to ditch the guy and then prostitute herself until she can get back, until she can get out of this fucking cult. And that's just one story. And all that shit happening, and then you want to bring this shit up with their we're protecting kids and we're fighting for the justice. This is fucking insanity. Friggin' insanity. Achucha, so I can safely say that you're out of both ISKCON and Ritvik? Most people don't even read the Gita. They got no time. They're always serving in the temple like machines. And that's one of the things. Like, I was a reader. Man, I was reading in my spare time. I wanted to read this shit. I wasn't reading like one verse in the morning and from Bhagavatam and one verse at night from the Bhagavad Gita, and then the rest of the day I was like, I was reading, man. I'd go home and I would read for like an hour. I'd read. I knew there was like a ton of books to read, and I wanted to read every one of them. And I was on a mission. I was on a mission to read these books. And I read one after another, after another, after another. I read the Bhagavatam as one book. I read it as one book. I read the Chaitanya Charitamrita as one book. The next, and I moved. I progressed. I progressed through the way you're supposed to do it. These people can't tell me shit about. They can't tell me shit. And Rafael knows what I'm talking about because he was up there with Indrayumna Swami, and he knows like how the Bhakta program is supposed to go and how the Bhakta leader, and then a lot of you know. I'm not saying he's the only one. But you're right. A lot of people don't read. They get that one verse in the morning, that one verse in the afternoon. And, if they read a little bit of Krishna book at night before they go to bed, good for them. And maybe, a chapter here, a chapter there. I assumed that everybody was like me. I assumed everybody was like me. Everybody was reading every fucking thing all the time. No, they're not. And that's why, like, I realize now, is like, I've always been a reader since I was a little kid. I was a reader. So when I was reading Prabhupada's books, I just was assumed that everybody's a reader. Not everybody's a reader. Not everybody can read, but not everybody's a reader. Some people they want to hear. You can tell me the stories. Tell me stories about Krishna. Tell me this and that, or listen to other people read. And you can tell when you're sitting in a program and people are going around. Like in school, we'd have our Ritvik programs and we would read. And you pass that book around, and some people can't read. Some adult people can't read. And I'm not trying to make fun of people that are illiterate, but some people have a problem reading, and I don't mean like they can't read, like they just can't. They don't know how to read like with emotion or with emphasis on it. They read it like the Justice for Prabhupada Foundation is dedicated to restoring the someone who's reading like that, their comprehension is on a little bit lower level. That someone that's reading words and groups and phrases and understands it's just that's why some people can read something they don't understand it, and they got to read it again and again and again. It's just everybody's comprehension is different. Everybody's reading style is different. But some people just aren't readers, and some people just can't read very well, so they don't read. And when we would go around the class, and I would go, oh, I could tell this guy can't read. Like you're Shodanandan. He's not a reader like that. You know, he blames it. He would say, French, I speak French. What happened to a chucha? So in the peak ISKCON days, I married a devotee. Okay. I really want to know who your guru is, so I kind of know the people that you were hanging around with, so I can make fun of them. No, I'm not. I don't want to make fun of them. I'm just curious. I'm just curious because we might know the same people. I mean, maybe you don't want to tell me that you were initiated by Yashodanandan, or maybe you don't want to tell me that you were initiated by Madhu Pandit. And that's up to you. I don't really care. I'm just curious. Because if you come in and you're using your name like a Chucha Keshava Das, I would feel like you would be proud of the fact that you're a devotee. You're proud that you were initiated. You're proud that you have that name. You're using that name. So I would figure that you would be proud and say, yeah, I was initiated by Kapindra Swami. I was initiated by whoever, I'm Bhakti Venmo, so we're all we're all friends here. It'll take time and given enough space, critical thinking. I'm sure they will slowly see the truth and read up on the scamper diet. Yeah, I hope so. I hope everybody comes to their own. Was Prabhupada actually poisoned by milk? Prabhupada was Thomas Rapinos, that's his name. Tavadarshan, Thomas Rapinos, yep. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, yeah. Yeah, and I'll tell you, it was really, I'm gonna tell you right now, when I put everything together and that was kind of where I left the story off was researching all of that. And I have to tell you, man, it's really researching all of that Tattva Darshan and Jitaratri and Yashodanandan writing, posting stuff online behind my back, so I didn't know that it was online. He wrote this whole thing about defending Tattva Darshan and kind of like trying to play both sides. Saying, we need to investigate, we need to come to get to the bottom of it and not listen to rumors and all this stuff, all this bullshit. But he posted all this stuff because I was the one that did all the posting. I was the one that did all of that. I was the web guy, and he had somebody else post this letter. And I didn't know about it, and it was online for a while, and that's why the timeline for me is kind of crazy, because to me, in my mind, everything happened fast, but it didn't. It took over a year for me to. It took a long time for me to put everything together and research and come to my conclusions and realize what was going on. It took over a year, and it blows my mind that much time went by. When I look back on it, when I think back, in my mind, it's like it happened like within 3 or 4 months, but it didn't. It was long. So I knew about Tattva Darshan long before I knew he was working with Yashodananda. And then Yashodananda goes to India, and they hang out together, and they go and they do this whole thing in India. And he didn't tell me about that. So I felt like, they were keeping stuff from me. And this is before I voiced any opposition to the whole Tattva Darshan. They were keeping this from me to preemptively keep me from finding out and going nuts. Like they knew what they were doing. So he posts this letter online. He does all this stuff. And then Rochan from the Hare Krishna from the Sampradaya Sun, this is months later, he contacts me because he knows I'm like I'm Yashoda, I'm the secretary of this Hare Krishna society. So he wants a statement from me. He wants a statement from me. He's like, hey, he just sends me an email and it's like, hey, this is Rochan, and I read this thing about what Yashoda wrote about the Hare Krishna society, and I want a comment from you. I want you to make a statement so I can publish it. And I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like, what? So I went to Yashoda and I said, hey, he wants me to make a statement about this thing. And then I went and I saw what he was talking about. And I got back with Rochan and I said, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. And he said, okay, can I quote you on that? And I said, yes, you can quote me. You can quote me on that. And so he did. He quoted me on that. And so then that's when I confronted Yashoda. And I was like, what is up? Like, how you posted this online behind my back. So, you had someone else post it. So obviously you didn't want me to see it. You went to Tatva's farm. You did all this stuff. And, what's going on? I'm not down with all this. And then it became this back and forth of they tried to excuse him. Well, he didn't really do it. It was all a setup. And then if he did do it, it's okay because she's only 12 years, she was 12 years old and she's not 11. And I wasn't accepting those excuses. I wasn't accepting it. I was sticking to my guns on this. And which is hard to do in Krishna consciousness because it's all this, you got to submit, and you got to surrender, and we're senior to you, and you're. So I was sticking to my guns. I was like, no, I'm not. And they said, no, you got to. It's okay. It's okay. He's with us. He's with us now. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. And then it turned nasty. So then this guy Nishringa in Oregon and Damagosh, they started sending me emails where they were like, hey, we can do this the easy way. We can do this the hard. It was like that kind of stuff. We can do this the easy way. We can do this the hard way. Damagosh was like, you need to just surrender to us because we're senior to you, and you're just Sri Mukunda, and you need to just you don't know what he got mad at me because I was challenging the 12-year-old thing. I was challenging. I was like, no, this 12-year-old thing is wrong. And he was like, no, you can't make offenses to Prabhupada, and you can't make offenses. See, he knew what Prabhupada says. And so my pushback was an offense to Prabhupada. My pushback, and that's when I was like, you're just like ISKCON. This is no different than ISKCON. And then, of course, I caught Pranjan on the phone. We were on a three-way call. Or he was on speakerphone. He didn't know he was on speakerphone, and he was admitting that the Ritviks we have to defend Tattva now. He's like, Tattva's with us now, but in secret. He was like, and then I confronted him. He didn't know, and then he backtracked. He's like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So then I knew that, and then he started attacking me. So Pranjan started attacking me. So then I knew that this was all bullshit. Pranjan is all bullshit because he just makes shit up about people if he doesn't like them, like me and the other Ritviks. These other Ritviks that he starts fights with, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit because he was doing that with me. The whole Ritvik thing was all bullshit because they're down with the child predators and protecting them, just like ISKCON is. So then it was just, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. There's no other explanation. There's no other explanation for it. And that's why I say these people in here, this Naveen Krishna and all these people that think that they're helping somebody and doing something, they're not doing shit. You got to leave. You got to say, hey, I'm out of here. You can't contribute to this. Because as long as you stay in, all you're doing is doing this kind of shit. Passing the buck and trying to blame someone else, trying to say, well, it's his fault or it's their fault. They did it. But you're in it. You're in it and you're supporting it. And if you're not directly supporting it, you're indirectly supporting it. You're indirectly supporting it. And I'm telling you about it. And now you can't play dumb. You can't play dumb. And that goes, and that's for all of you people out there. I'm not talking about anybody in the chat who's if you're in the chat and you're chiming in, man, that's great. I love that. But all you people at home, man, hey, Don Pearson, man, great to see you. So glad you're here. All right, so hey, yeah, you got good rice for everybody. You got to bring. Don't come in here with good rice if you don't have good rice for everybody. Yeah, hey, like, share, and subscribe, man. I'm almost there, man. I can't. It was great. Yeah, I can't stand Prabhupada's redundancy is torture. How could you read so much repetitive crap? I was brainwashed, man. I was fully in on this shit. I wanted to learn it. I wanted to say I've read the Bhagavatam. I wanted to read the Chaitanya Chart. I wanted to know. I wanted to know what's in there, so that when these guys are lecturing and they're talking about, well, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in chapter whatever and the verse whatever, Lord Chaitanya did this and did that. I wanted to read it. I wanted to read it myself. I wanted to read it and I wanted to read it. I wanted to read it. But you're right. It's all it's all repetitive crap. It's repetitive. It's absolutely. And you got to be in a cult to read that repetitive crap. Absolutely. You got to be a brainwashed cult member to read that crap. I gave my mother a Bhagavad Gita, and she'd read it for like 20 minutes, and she handed it back, and she said, I don't want to read that. I don't want that. And I was shocked. I was like, what do you mean you don't want that? I don't want that. He's talking about sex and talking about stool and talking about, and she's like, he's talking about it on every page. She's like, I don't want that shit. A family member of mine is heavy into the cult. I will never allow to meet with such people, even if a family member relationship is over. I know, it's so hard. It's so hard. And I remember what I was like when I was in it. I was a brainwashed fucking freak. I wasn't into pedophilia. I had an 11-year-old daughter that was molested. But I was a hardcore cult freak. I wasn't in the ashram and I wasn't sitting on the Vyasasan. But other than that, I believed it. I mean, I wanted to believe that there was a demon head eating the moon. I wanted to believe that there was a spiritual demon head that was eating the moon that we couldn't see. I wanted to believe that, and I was believing it. I mean, to a certain extent, I was believing it. I don't know how else to explain it like that. It's like I didn't believe it 100%, but I believed it enough that it kept me going. Like Knitting Cult Lady says, you push yourself through, and it's like, I know that there's no demon head eating the moon, but for the benefit of the doubt, for the whole spiritual journey and the spiritualism and the loving God and all of that, let me just push on through, and there's a spiritual demon head that eats the moon, and we can't see it, but somehow there's a demon head that eats the moon. That's as good as I can get it, man. Yeah, she sold all his books and bought some coffee and tea. Good for her. That was the best thing she could do. I applaud her for that. I'd take initiation from her before I take initiation from Prabhupada. Prabhupada was a pure and evil monster, and that's the thing. So that's the natural progression. So the progression is you get to the point where you go, well, Prabhupada's the cause of all these teachings. He's the one that's teaching this pedophilia. He's the one that translated these books. He's the one that made up all these rules. He's the one that's conditioning everybody's brain. He's the one that's indoctrinating everybody with his bullshit. He's the one that's controlling this whole thing. He's the mastermind behind this whole thing. And this is a cult. So you know what? He's a cult leader. So you go through the progression. First, it was just, what's up with the 12-year-olds? What's up with the child molestation? What's up with this? What's up with that? What's up with that? But now you're at the point where you're going, this is a cult, and Prabhupada's a cult leader. He's a megalomaniac cult leader. He's no different than Jim Jones, David Koresh, or any of these other fucking freaks. You're not going to get all the way up to that point and then go, no, we're stopping there. No, it is what it is. It is what it is. So then when you get to the point where he's a megalomaniac cult leader, you come to the conclusion that, yeah, he's like Charlie Manson, he's like David Koresh, he's like Jim Jones. He's a pure evil monster. If he had told everybody when he was dying in Vrindavan, and he said, look, man, they're coming for us. They're all coming for us, and they're going to lock us all up. They don't like Krishna consciousness. The Maya's coming. The evil karmis and the malechas and the yavanas and the rakshasas are coming, and they're going to rip us up, rip us limb from limb. And we all got to just eat this sweet rice with cyanide in it. And we all need to drink this cyanide because the rakshasas and the yavanas are going to come and they're going to eat us and rip us from limb to limb. And then, they would have done it. They would have fucking done it. Just like that Henry Doktorsky said. I was in New Vrindavan, and when they needed somebody to go shoot that guy in the van, I would have done it. I was a brainwashed fucking nut, and I would have done it too. And everybody in the New Vrindavan would have done it. But Tirtha was the lucky one that got to do it. And that's why I say, this is no different. Henry Doktorsky said, we were all brainwashed, and I would have done it too. That's what he said. I would have done it too. He's just a normal guy that got caught up in this cult. And now he's admitting, yeah, I was so fucking brainwashed that I would have went and murdered somebody if they had told me to murder somebody. I would have done it. You can argue with me, say, Mike, I don't know if it's as bad as Jim Jones and Jonestown and Charlie Manson and all that. You can argue with me. I'll argue right back and say, yes, it is. Yes, it fucking is. I say Prabhupada is worse than Jim Jones. I say he's, I put him in that category. And you want to say which one's worse? That's up to you. But I put him in that category of Charlie Manson, David Koresh, Jim Jones, all of these guys. The Hale Bop guy with the Nike tennis shoes. When one is brainwashed, no amount of logical reason and critical, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. All you can do is kind of, help them along, and maybe a little crack will form, and then it's up to them. It's up to them. Yeah, I think he's. I don't know. I don't know if he's worse or not. I mean, he's not worse because he hasn't killed everybody yet. In order for him to be worse, he's got to kill 801. He's got to be worse. He's got to kill 801, at least 801. But he's done a lot of harm. Absolutely, he's done. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is. If you say he's worse, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not. It's all bullshit, man. I missed this conversation. Like South India only dosa and idli. I'll wash your curtain, lungi. Let's go. Okay. All right. You come and I'll go. I'll go. I mean, I'll go. Let's all go. Let's all go. Let's all go. That's funny. Yeah, he was snuffing. Yeah. Yeah, I got my nephew in. I did. I got my nephew in. I'd go and I'd talk to him, and I was full devotee. I was shaved head, Sika, Dodi Kurt. And like I was saying, I'd come home from work and I would change into Dhoti Kurta. So as soon as I got home, I would change, and I'd finish my rounds, chant my rounds, finish my rounds, and I go hang out with my nephew. My nephew lived with my parents, his grandparents, which were my mom and dad. So, and I lived right next door. I was in the apartment building next door to my parents' house. This is before I moved to Delmas Terrace. Before I got into Yashoda Nandan's apartment, I was just staying. I had my own apartment next door to my mother's house, and that's where we did the Hare Krishna Society. That's where I was doing the book and doing the web page and doing all that shit. So I would come home from work, from American Express, put on my Dhoti, Kurta Dhoti, and I'd go next door and go, say hi to my mom and dad, and I'd go talk to my nephew, and I'd be like, hey, how you doing? He's a grown man. I'd go talk to him, and he would always ask me, it started out simple. Why you shave your head? What's with the ponytail? What's this? Well, and I would tell him, and I wasn't even thinking of getting him into it or nothing. It was just, I'd run it, I'd see him, and we would talk. And then one day, he was asking me, and I said, hey, here's a book, and I gave him a book. That was it. I gave him a book, and he read it, and he got into it, and he was like, hey, he wanted to go to the temple, he wanted to start chanting, and of course, I was all into it. I was like, yeah. And then like one year later, like only 1 year later, Yashoda's like, let's go to India. I haven't been in 20 years. I want to go to India. And I was like, and I had just went. And I was like, yeah, let's go. And my nephew was like, I want to go. And I said, sure, come with us. And I don't know what my nephew's doing now. I got out of it, and I told him, I ran into it, because I moved to Delmas Terrace, and he moved, and my mom and dad died, and he went on with his life. And then I saw him at my father's funeral. And I said, I don't do that shit anymore. And he was like, really? He's like, wow, you don't do that anymore? I was like, nah, I don't do that. And I said, no, man, I had a falling out, and I did some research, and I don't do that shit no more. And he was like, oh, wow, okay, wow, that's wow. He was like, wow. And I was like, yeah, man, I don't do that shit no more. That's bullshit. It's all bullshit. And he was in shock. So, yeah, that was something. Yeah, but he never lived in the ashram or did anything like that. He was just reading the books and chanting and doing his own thing. He wasn't initiated or anything like that. What happened? What did I do? I'm so disorganized. Okay, I lived in the BS ashram life. I lived the BS ashram life in India as a woman. This is how I realized the entire thing is rigged and destructive. PTSD guaranteed. Yes, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. The women that are in that join this, they have no idea what they're in for. They have no idea what they're in for. They have no idea what the women go down there and they see the flowers and the incense and the bells. The same thing the guys do, and they have no idea what they're in for. And by the time they're sucked into it, they're sucked in. It's because once you're brainwashed, you're brainwashed. Once you're brainwashed, you're brainwashed. It takes a lot to get someone else. It's like, and when you're brainwashed, the whole idea of being brainwashed is you will endure this shit. You will endure it. Self-regulation, the chanting, the four regulative principles, all that bullshit. You endure that. So, trauma, tears, pain. This cult and its teachings are a real abomination. Yeah, and people don't realize it. And you watch these videos of these people, and you see the pain in their face. You see it, especially the women. Because the guys can get by. The guys can get by without the sexism you know, and the shaming, and you know, guys would float right through like on a hoverboard, while the women are just like, you know, they're just taking blows. Yashodanandan, the mean Swami, yeah, he was. I called him the hockey player. He's a hockey player, and that was one of the things that got me. Like I'm hanging out with Yashodanandan, and then and we're doing all this stuff, and he, his attitude is like he's on another level, but he doesn't act like a Swami. You know, it's all kind of like he keeps it internal, but it kind of spills out. You know, he's not like all puffed up like these gurus are, but it's subdued. You know, it's subdued. So he gives off this idea that he's like this guru, like he's like one of these gurus guys, right? And we all treat him like that. But then as I got to know him, as like Rafal knows, and anybody that gets really close with these people, you see the real person. And well, you know, one day, you know, and he's telling me about how, you know, he's always preaching about stuff. So you're always hearing this, what we're supposed to do, what we're not supposed to be doing. And then one day I find out that he coaches a hockey team, you know, kids hockey team, and he does these hockey things, you know, and I used to like hockey, but I stopped doing all that stuff. I wasn't playing hockey, but I was a hockey fan, and I liked watching it on TV. I liked going to the hockey games, and I gave all that up when I got into Hare Krishna, and I just totally lost interest in it, completely lost interest in everything. And then I find out that this guy, he's coaching a hockey team. He's got a bunch of stuff he does on the side. Meanwhile, he's kind of projecting this Swami, this renunciation, this bullshit. And even though, you know, he was a Ritvik, and he's like, I'm not really Swami, I'm just your Shodanandan. It's like, no, you don't act like it. And then, you know, and then it comes out that and he accidentally told me, he's like, yeah, I can't make it that early because I got coaching this hockey thing, and then he like changed the subject. Was like, oh, you know, and I was like, oh, coaching hockey? You coach hockey? And then when I went over to his place one time, because I'd go over to his house to work on his computers. He lived in Downey, and I'd go over to his house to work on his computer, and he had like hockey equipment, like where he was playing hockey, like, you know, like a senior. I don't know what he was doing. I don't even care anymore. But I mean, I was like, wow, you know. It was like Prabhupada doing snuff, and all these guys, you know, it's all a fraud. It's all fake and a fraud. It's all a fake and a fraud, man. It's 50-50 Swami. Yeah, he was the last, you know, I gotta admit, you know, if his big thing was he was coaching a kids hockey league because he liked hockey, or he was playing in a hockey league, that's not a big deal. It's only a big deal when he's sitting there every friggin' night preaching from Prabhupada's books about how we're not supposed to be doing that shit. Otherwise, what's the big deal about preaching, about coaching a hockey team, or playing in a hockey game, or playing basketball? Vadiraj told me that they used to play, if any of you that used to live on Watsika, Vadiraj told me that they used to play basketball, and then somebody complained that, why are these devotees playing basketball? Prabhupada never authorized that. And then they were like, oh, we can't play basketball anymore. And I was like, you know, this is some bullshit. Well, you can't go to the park and play basketball just to get some exercise? You know, it was just... Hey, Cumbersome, great to see you. 1987, man. Great to see you here, man. Hey, Liam, great to catch you live today. Yeah, I'm right. I'm in the middle, about to, you know. So these lives are amazing, and I'm glad it's becoming a platform for all ex-devotees to speak their truth and expose. Yes, absolutely. I never thought it was going to become this, where everybody would be joining in and talking. I never thought it would be this. I was only doing these videos because somebody asked me. They said, you know, you should make a video, and explain about your 20 years in the Hare. That's why it was the first one I did. You should explain your 20 years in the Hare Krishnas. And I did that. And once I started talking about it, I said, I should do another one and talk about that. And I didn't have anybody watching. Nobody was watching. Nobody was joining in. I was just me and the camera, and just me alone. And I just started doing them, and slowly, all of you wonderful people came in, and now here we are, and it's the greatest thing, because it's really, like I've said many times, it's therapy for me, because I never got justice. They want justice for Prabhupada. I never got any justice for my daughter. My daughter never got justice, God damn it. Where's her justice? Where's the justice for my daughter? Where's the justice for Radharani? Where's the justice for her? The guy didn't go to jail. He didn't even get kicked out of the. He got to go on with his life like nothing happened. And when he decided to leave, he left. And they're talking about justice for. And how many other little girls were molested like that? I know there were a couple. I don't want to give their names. But where's the justice for them? The nerve of these people. It's like, fuck these kids. It's like, this Naveen, fuck these kids. He could have said, justice for Prabhupada's kids. Justice for Prabhupada's kids. Well, not that. Because then we'll get justice for Prabhupada's kids, or Prabhupada's just, no, fuck the kids. Harry Potter is much more enjoyable than Prabhupada jokes. I don't know, man. My Prabhupada jokes are pretty good, 10 offenses after Tulsi. Such a load. Yeah, okay. It's after Tulsi is when the 10 offenses. And I'm going to tell you right now, I like the Tulsi. I like the Tulsi prayer, and I liked, there was just something about it. I like the Tulsi Kirtan. I got into it in India. I got into doing it in India at the Krishna Balaram temple when I was there with my daughter, and I just that was my thing. I really liked that. Sometimes I would just go for the Tulsi, but I never got into the 10 offenses. I never got it. That was the 50-50 Swami. That was the Radha Kund in me. That was the Radha Kund in me. Prabhupada and 50-50 Swami scamming the society, coming out. Yeah, I know. I'm going to write a script. I'm going to write a script. Super Swami and Karma Boy. Nothing but nasty, reactive, controlling, medieval bhakti crap. Nothing Vedic about them in the slightest. I know. That's the other scam. And as you know, and as you see on the internet, everything to them is Vedic. Vedic Inquirer, Vedic Solutions, Vedic Gardens, Vedic Knowledge, Vedic Culture, Vedic History, Vedic Meditations, Vedic Lifestyle, Vedic Marriage, Vedic Homestead, Vedic Living, Vedic, everything. Fuck you and your it ain't nothing Vedic. If it was Vedic, you'd be living in a friggin' cave. That's Vedic for you. Fucking A, man. Yeah, I eat a lot of Tulsi here where I am because they cook with it. Everything's got basil. We call it selling stickers for festivals for Food for Life. Hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead. You guys just keep commenting, and I want to get to them all. I guess it's time to get a moderator, and I can't keep up on them. I'm sorry, I just can't. I'll try later to get back to you some of your comments. I want to show you this because Rafael sent in videos, and I just can never get to them. I can never get to them. But let's watch this one a little bit. This is a molester. This is one of their molesters, and they're celebrating his 50th sannyas anniversary as if he did not molest a little girl, a little 11-year-old girl. They're just going to act like he didn't do anything at all. And the renunciation, how he wasn't renounced when he was molesting that little girl. But let's just pretend like he didn't molest that little girl and go ahead and let's just pretend like nothing happened. Look,
हरे कृष्णा।
we can pretend like nothing
वृंदावन के इस पावन धरा पर आज हम सभी एक दिव्य और ऐतिहासिक अवसर के साक्षी
swear
बनने
to-
के लिए एकत्र हुए हैं।
I swear to God,
परम पूज्य लोकनाथ स्वामी महाराज के संन्यास आश्रम के 50 वर्षों
whole
के
world
स्वर्ण
gone
जयंती
crazy?
महोत्सव के उपलक्ष्य में
Am I the only one around here who gives a
50
shit
वर्षों
about
की
the
यह
rules?
आध्यात्मिक यात्रा इस सत्य को स्पष्ट रूप से
know,
प्रतिपादित करती है।
I don't want to sound like Bill Maher, because I don't like Bill Maher. I don't want to sound like Bill Maher, but here's how about this for a rule? If a guy's molests little girls, you don't celebrate you don't celebrate him on stage with a big party and a celebration, a big crowd, and all you don't do this. This is my new rule.
कि जब
This is
जीवन
this
भगवान
is
और
Mike's
भक्तों की
rule.
सेवा में समर्पित होता
if-
है तभी वही जीवन वास्तविक
Hey,
अर्थ
look,
में
that's where I
सार्थक
took the
बनता है।
picture.
इस पावन अवसर पर हम परम पूजनीय गुरुदेव
Yeah,
के
you
प्रति
don't put
अपनी
the guy on a
कृतज्ञता
couch.
व्यक्त करते
You don't put the molester on a couch and put him up on stage and have this big
उनके अटूट भक्ति,
party for him.
उनके
You don't do
सतत
that. That's
मार्गदर्शन,
no, you don't do
उनके
that.
कीर्तन और उनके
You don't do that. And look, and they're all there.
करुणामयी सेवा
They're
के
all
लिए
there.
साथ ही
All
अपने
the
जीवन के
swamis.
माध्यम से सच्ची सेवा का
And
आदर्श
look,
प्रस्तुत करने
he's
तथा
blessing
श्रील
everything.
प्रभुपाद और श्री
Look,
चैतन्य
they have a
महाप्रभु
cartoon
और
cow.
गुरु परंपरा के प्रति अटल समर्पण को व्यवहार
Fucking stupid. I'm having a good time. I don't know if you guys can tell. I don't know if it comes across. I don't know how it comes across because some people say I'm low vibe, but I'm having a great. You were out in 2019, but officially 2020. Yeah. For all ISKCONites watching this, this is your. Yeah, this is good. For all ISKCONites watching this is your profound moment to dwell on what you're doing with your life. Give a name of an ex-current ISKCON guru. We will indulge. Yeah, we have a wheel. We have this wheel here, and we can put your guru's name on the wheel, and we'll spin it. And maybe your guru will come up on this wheel. Yeah, so yeah, I don't have my books anymore. I gave that shit up. You simply can't be serious. I admire. What am I not? What am I serious about? I don't know. I missed it. Oh, something in my throat. Swami snuff a lot. Okay, yeah, I'm back to the reading the comments. I want to get back to the video. Okay. So that was the Swami. That was a molester Swami. We got rid of him. So check it out. This is back to the Justice League of ISKCON.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Hare Krishna Project podcast. This is episode number 204.
He's so proud of. he's so proud of what number episode he's doing. You know, like who cares? I don't know how many I've done, and I don't care. I'm not like, hey, it's Mike, and this is episode number 352. Who cares?
Yes, we have made it to our 204th episode without
Hey, look
being
who's here.
taken off air,
Hey, look who's here.
without receiving any letters in the post.
It's
we are
it's-
still broadcasting
it's
after
Radharani.
almost
It's
5
my
years.
daughter
Exactly
has joined the
5
chat.
years next week.
oh my goodness.
And I'm delighted that we are now in the 200th.
Let me pause this. Hey, love you. What are you doing? How are you doing? I can't believe you're here. You know, when you come to visit, maybe you can come on camera and we can do this together. Um, hey, so this is my daughter, everybody. She's in here. Um, that's great. I'm glad you're watching. Yeah. So she's telling she's the one that tells me that this devotee that we used to know at the L.A. temple, her name is also Radharani. My daughter's was named Radharani when we were at the temple. But there's this older devotee who's she's probably about my age, and her name is Radharani. And my daughter works at the Hollywood Bowl, and she's the one that tells me that she sees her up there selling the books, doing the same thing that she's been doing for 30 years. And it's really sad that she's just wasted her whole life. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad, okay? But hey, great to see you
Do
here.
not
Love
forget,
you.
if you're watching
I'm so
this on
excited that you're here.
YouTube, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button so you can be kept updated about future podcasts and video productions from the Hare Krishna Project. And or if you're watching this on Facebook, and if you haven't already, please do like or follow the Hare Krishna Project Facebook page. Those are the two platforms where you can watch these podcasts.
All right, enough.
Been very strong about is campaigning against child abuse or alleged child abuse, suspected child abuse in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and to campaign for greater child protection or safeguarding within the institution as well. And many of you may have read or heard that last year, the Justice for Srila Prabhupada Foundation hired the services of an Indian-based law firm called Garg and Garg Advocates to apply to the Indian Supreme Court to petition them to set up a statutory investigation looking into ISKCON in terms of alleged and suspected incidences of child abuse within the organization. And the application was successful. The Indian Supreme Court has allowed the formation of this new statutory inquiry or investigation. And from Garg and Garg Advocates, who are the organization, the law firm hired by the Justice for Srila Prabhupada Foundation, I'm delighted to welcome our guest this week. It's Ajay Garg. Hello.
So here's this scammer. I guess he's from the law firm that's trying. He's one of these lawyer guys that's handling this Justice for Prabhupada bullshit. Right? He's one of these guys that's on here in this. Where is it? Yeah, it's this guy. This is the guy. So he's lawyer guy, went here, went there. He's a member of this and that. That's who that guy is. All he's doing. Oh, my evil twin. All he's doing is he's just up there trying to raise money. He's just trying to raise money for this friggin' scam. Raising money for this scam. If they cared about little girls and children, they wouldn't be promoting this child marriage. They'd come right out and say it. They say, "Hey, we got to get rid of this child marriage. We got to stop marrying all these little girls off to these grown men." They don't want to talk about that. They want to act like that's not happening. They want to act like it's not happening while it's happening today. You went to the farm, the farm with Tattva Darshan. Yeah, that's where Yashoda went, and that's where this whole thing, and that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm here today. Yeah, it's a Ritvik farm. It's it wasn't. He was in ISKCON. They kicked him out because he's a molester, and then he just said, "Well, I'll just go over to the Ritviks. I'll go to the Ritviks." Yeah, fuck that, fuck that. Right. You know? And like I was saying, I don't know if you were in here when I said, you know, where's the justice for you? Where's the justice for us? Where's the justice for any of these kids? No, they want justice for Prabhupada. You never got any justice. The LAPD failed. The district attorney failed. The temple failed. The whole community failed. You know, I feel like I failed. I honestly, I feel like I failed too. But and yet they want to yell about Prabhupada, Prabhupada this and Prabhupada that. Thanks, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So yeah, so as you can see, Gibran, all of these ex-devotees that are in here, and some of them lived on Watsika, and some of them, you know, probably were there when we were there, and there's a lot of people watching now. So probably some of the people that are watching are on there, and they know. So yeah, your Nana had no interest at all. You didn't want anything to do with that shit. She didn't want to do any. She didn't want anything to do with that. So yeah, I can't keep up with all the with all the but oh, I wanted to get this comment. It was really good. Where is it? You made a good comment. Shri Mad made a good comment. All that reading scars the wash into the brain. That's why it takes decades for the brain to rewire itself back to normal. Yeah, my brain is not back to normal yet. My brain is definitely not back to normal. It's getting there, though. It's getting there. It's definitely getting there. And but it's like 90%. There's still some shit left. To be honest with you, there's still some shit left that I'm just like, fuck that. I can't get these things out of my head sometimes. Still with the left hand. I mean, I'm still with the left hand. You know, I still want to wipe my ass with my hand. No, I got over that. I got over that. But yeah, I think all this stuff. I think eventually people, most people come to their senses. I think the people that don't come to their senses are the people that are making a lot of money, and then it becomes like a business. It becomes like, this is my job, like Indrayumna Swami and Jayapataka and all of these guys. They're not going to give it up. This is their job. They don't care if it's a scam. They don't care if it's a scam. You know, I could get like Sri Dayananda and Jayadvaita and all these gurus and whoever these gurus are. They don't care that it's a scam. This is their job. Their job. That's why that Swami is saying they know in their hearts that they're zero. They know. And the prasadam is definitely a way they hook you. Wait, what's that? It would be interesting to speak about Jay Shetty. He was in ISKCON. Now he's a big guru. He pretend like he doesn't have anything to do with it. And on top of it, he is all about Radhanath Swami. Yeah, you know, and that's the thing, is like a lot of these people will do that and you don't know. You don't know. Jay Shetty gives me the cringe vibes. It's so strange to have you. I mean, I love having you in here. I'm not used to seeing you in here and commenting. It's great. It's great. But, you know, Madonna was messing around with it. They all mess around with it. They all mess around with that stuff. So what, you're gonna bow down and do some His Holiness Jay Shetty? I don't know. I don't know if he can compete with. I don't know if he can compete with Bhakti Venmo Sri Mukunda Swami. There's no one can compete. No, no one comes close. No one comes close. I love you too, man. I love you too. um, yeah, that's my daughter, man. She's a chip off the old block, I tell you. Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe you can have me on when I visit. You can come on and we'll talk and we'll sit here and that'll be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do that. I'm looking forward to that. And then I can always do this. Hey, hold on. Let me do this. I'll tell you a story. While my daughter's here, I'll tell you a story. Here, I'll do this. But let's take a look at this so you can all see who. So you can get a good look at her. There she is. There she is right there. Thanks for giving him his power back from these creeps. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. I love you. I love you. You're the greatest. You really are the greatest. The clip this up is going to be hilarious. It is. We have so much fun. You gotta come back all the time because we have a blast in here. He's behind on the chat because I've been here, Dad. Yeah. I want to. No, she was selling. Oh, she was selling bracelets. Radharani is selling bracelets at the Hollywood Bowl. So there you go, everybody. Selling bracelets at the Hollywood Bowl. Let's look at another video here. I want to see if we get another video. Because I know Rafal sends me these videos and I want to share them. I want to share them with you guys. So there's the lawyer guy raising money for the Justice for Prabhupada scam. This is just one scam. Check this guy out. Here's our old friend. Here's our old friend, the child molester, the guy who wants to marry a 15-year-old girl. It's really sad. What do you say? It's really sad. I was hoping she didn't recognize me and think she did, but because I was working, she didn't want to ask me. You think she recognized you? She hasn't seen you in like 20 something years. You really think she would recognize you after not? And you were a little girl when you were. Last time she saw you, you were like 12 years old. You really think she would? I was visiting the Detroit Temple and was taking photos of an artist up from the balcony in the dining room down below. This pompous priest came up and bitched me out, saying I was not allowed to be above them. That's weird. We have a balcony in the LA Temple, and they never. That's weird. This guy is wishy-washy freak, can't stand. Watch out for the demon that jumps into your grains. I know, man. Watch out for those demon grains. You gotta watch out for those demon grains, man. You gotta watch out for that. So with the left hand. Okay, so she saw you a few times. Oh, okay. Oh, you were in your 20s. Yeah, because because we lived there. That's right. But you never went to the temple. You never went to the temple when we lived on Delmas, but I guess, I guess you were in your 20s. That's still a long time ago, 20 years ago. I guess she would remember you. Okay, check out this guy. Check out this guy. Okay, this is the guy. And again, he's got some more racist shit to say. He's got some more racist shit to say.
It's not for me. Absolutely. Absolutely. We see this also, Prabhu, in Paris. I've seen it. Like there was this one guy, an African French guy, born in France, but from an African background. He used to come. We had a little preaching center similar to yours for a few years that Govardhan Puja Prabhu from Italy was sponsoring right in the heart of the Quartier Latin of Paris. And it was very much come as you are. Nobody was wearing Indian clothes. You could even walk in with your shoes, just simple kirtan philosophy, very light prasadam. And he was liking it. And then I'm not justifying what he did, which I'll describe, but I'm just echoing your words, Prabhu. He came to the Sunday program at our temple of Radha Parishishwara, which is in a suburb of Paris, and which has, for whatever reasons, been basically taken over. And again, this is not a criticism, it's just an objective observation by members of the Bangladeshi community. It's kind of followed the same mood of, or the same trajectory as ISKCON New Orleans in America. When you go to ISKCON New Orleans in Mississippi or Louisiana, the temple is basically run by West Bengali. You know, some of them are wonderful Vaishnavas. Some of them are, you know, like old friends of mine from 30 years ago who keep a wonderful standard of deity worship and do prasadam distribution and they have lectures. But most of their congregation is Bangladeshi. Now,
He's trying really hard not to be racist. He's trying really hard to be racist, but he's being racist. He's just complaining. He's just complaining that there's too many brown people. There's too many brown people in Paris at the temple. He's like, why are there so many Bangladeshis there? It's like New Orleans. You go to the New Orleans temple, and you got all these brown people, all these brown people there. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not, hey, I'm not trying to give them a hard time. They're wonderful people. But I'm just saying, why are there so many brown people, goddammit? Why?
Become an ISKCON Bangladeshi oriented or West Bengali oriented ISKCON center, and then never will go back to a sort of a mainstream, well, mostly white with some Latino, some black, demographics. So similarly in Paris, for the Radha Parishishwara temple, that's the trajectory it's taken. And
yeah, sorry, man, no white people. He's upset. He's upset. There's no white people. There's not enough white people at the temple. He's just. It seems like every video he makes, he's upset. There's this. Where are the white people? The other video, he was like, "Hey, how come there's no white people? How come there's no white people? Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just not seeing enough white people." No, he doesn't want to see brown people. He doesn't want to see brown people. Oh, it's crazy. That guy, everything with him is, I want to cosplay, but I don't want to cosplay. I am not vegetarian. How many of y'all still vegetarian? I am not vegetarian. So let me see. Let me get to another one here. This guy. Okay, so here, this guy. The worst are the dreams about the temple inside. I hope it will go away someday. Yeah, we all have. See, we all have some residue left over from this friggin' cult. If it wasn't a cult, we wouldn't have this residue. You don't have this residue when you stop doing something. You stop doing something, you don't have all this residue. You just stop. Like you used to. You used to do needlepoint, and then you stop doing needlepoint, and there's no residue. Even if you're like in a cooking club or a book club, and everybody's getting together once a week, and you get together, Avon or Tupperware or something, and once a week we get together and we play cards, we play poker. Every Friday night we get together, we play poker, and then you don't do it anymore. Like, I'm not playing poker anymore. There's no like, I'm not dreaming about it. I'm not having anxiety because I stopped playing. It's just, we just get on with our lives. But this shit is in our brains. It gets in our DNA somehow and fucks up our thinking. And even when we're not doing it, we're still like, the residue is there. Yeah, holy basil goes into Thai Cambodian food. Yeah, it's great. It's great. So let me see. So I got this. I got one last video here, and then we spin the wheel. We're gonna spin the wheel. This is a long one, but I'm not watching hardly any of it. I'm not watching hardly any of this guy. But I just wanted to show you how this. Oh, let me just show you.
Hare Krishna. I am speaking on Skype with a devotee. I knew his father very well. His father was a very good devotee, did a lot of valuable service. And so he has some questions for me, and if I get the right answers, I can win valuable prizes. So let's go. Let's go forward with
All
the
right.
questions.
First question. Our scriptures, Vedic scriptures, our scriptures in ISKCON, are they historical and literal, or are they meant to be interpreted? So they're not historical.
Oh, we're jumping into the wide world of hermeneutics. Okay, the first question was, the scriptures that we use, are they meant to be taken literally, or are they meant to be interpreted? Hermeneutics, by the way, is sort of like the discipline which deals with interpretation. And historical, I mean, they are historical in the sense that they're obviously written within history, but are they historical in the sense that are some portions of it meant for other historical times? And, or is it all? So,
No, Harvard dumbass Goswami. We just want to know, are these stories in these books true? Did they really happen or not? That's all we want to know. We don't want all your fucking Harvard bullshit. Just tell us. You're the guy, you went to Harvard, you got your degree, you're the guru, you're the head smarty pants. And tell us, are we supposed to interpret these as fables and analogies and moral stories and whatever, or is it historical? Did Krishna really stand in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago? Was Lord Rama here 2 million years ago? That's what we want to know. That's it. Just answer that question. No, this is a 28-minute video where he goes into, look at the different chapters. He says, are the scriptures literal or historical? And then, why did people discover Aristotle? Christianizing Aristotle, the Renaissance, the Protestant Reformation, the translation, interpretation, symbolism, category. He's just got this whole 28-minute lecture. We just want to know, are these stories, is there a demon head eating the fucking moon? Tell me, Harvard dumbass Goswami. That's what we want to know. Cult Residue podcast coming soon. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm talking about. HD Goat Swami. Yeah, I met him. I've been to his house, his old house. Looks like he's got a different house. Mr. Original 11th Acharya. So he was the one. Is he the one they added? Like Prabhupada was like, I gotta add one more. Let me add one more. And then Prabhupada spun the wheel. And it landed on this guy. Yeah, we all have cult residue left over from ISKCON. Yeah, it's look at this fake human. So fake human, you meet my daughter. You got to meet my daughter. He's got the not. He's got the books in the meditation. Yeah, they're not historical. They're hysterical. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, he loves to bullshit around his talks goes on for hours without ever saying anything. Because he's got to do something with all that. He's got to do something with all that knowledge, right? He's went to Harvard. I mean, you don't just go to Harvard and then you're like a normal guy. You go to Harvard, now you're somebody. You know, I went to Harvard, right? I know shit. Like, I know shit, man. You know, you don't just go to Harvard and you're like a normal, like the average guy. Your average guy doesn't go to Harvard. So you're super special. You're super Swami. You become super Swami and Karma Boy. That's what that's what happens. All right, everybody. It is time to spin the wheel of idiot, and we're gonna go. If anybody wants to add somebody to the wheel, let me know now. If you want to wager, now's the time to wager. I'm not paying out, so you'll have to make that deal with someone else. You have to get a bookie. You have to get a bookie if you want to get paid out. Fish is an ocean fruit. That's funny. So if you want to add anybody to this wheel, we can add them. We're going to spin the wheel. Gibran, if you're still here, you can get to see the spinning of the wheel. We're going to spin this wheel here. You got a few more seconds to wager. If anyone wants to pick a color or pick a guru. All right, so there's me. You take my place here by the wheel. You're here. Okay, great. So we got Rafael's picking yellow. I don't know who nobody else wants to wager. Gibran, you want to wager on this? You want to wager on this? Red. Okay, you would pick red. And we're going to give this a spin. Anybody else sees it? We're going to close the green. Okay, Eliana's got green. And here we go. What happened? Here we go. Hey, it's Dave Amrita Swami. Going for Harvard dumbass, going for blue. It was green. Eliana's a big winner. Eliana's a big winner with Dave Amrita Swami. She picked green. Weird Planet, better luck next time. Weird Planet. We got some consolation prizes for you guys. Fake Human, I got a consolation prize for you. We got the home version. You got the home version. Okay, so yeah, congratulations. Let me get out of here. Let me get back to my place. Yes, absolutely, the big winner. Big winner. Okay. Oh, there he comes right up. He's a popular guy. He comes right up. Let's see. Oh, this is brand new. This is a brand new class. So we got to stay up to date with Mr. Guru here.
Because as you know, it's the appearance day of Srila Advaita Acharya Prabhu. And in an attempt to glorify him, we'll read from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 3, text 97. I like this text because it very clearly explains Advaita Acharya Prabhu's vision of what's wrong and how to correct it. So we ask for all of your best wishes, blessings.
Okay, so those of you that don't know, who don't know who this character is, this is Paz's brother that just like a year or 2 years ago got sucked up into this cult. This is his guru. He decided to take initiation from this character. And for those of you that don't know, this guy was in New Vrindavan when Salochan was shot in LA. He was there. They all celebrated. This guy was you know, he was one of the top people in New Vrindavan. There was a lot of people that it took a lot of people, a lot of coordination for them to shoot that guy in his van in L.A. In fact, I think there were three people. There were three gunmen, I believe. There was Tirtha. There was this other guy. He's come out and said that he was this second gunman. He was one that was out there doing it too. And I believe there was another guy. And then there were all the people that were getting the money, paying him off, facilitating him, hiding him out, doing all that shit. So we know that. We know. And this guy, well, he was there. He was there the whole time. And he was one of the top, he was one of the top guys at the place where all this shit was planned and put into action. And he's got the nerve to sit there and act like he's a swami, like he's a guru. And he's one of these guys that I say, he knows it's bullshit. This is a job for him. This is his job. And it's a pretty good job because he gets to travel around on someone else's dime. He doesn't have to lift a finger to do anything because he's got a servant or servants to do whatever he wants to do. And he just bullshits. This is what he does. He sits there and he reads from a book and he tells a little story and he chants his little mantras or whatever. And he moves on, he goes on, keeps pushing on to the next one. He doesn't do a fucking thing. And he wants to be called his holiness. And Swami, what the fuck is holy about this guy? He hasn't done nothing. He is a fucking criminal. He is a fucking criminal. This guy's a big fucking criminal. And you know if he would you know that if he would be involved in something like that, what else would he be involved in? I mean, if you're involved in, if you're around all these people and they're planning murders and doing all this bullshit and you're there and you're around them and those are your buddies, well, what else would you do? What else would you fucking do? We know they marry little girls off to grown men, and we know that shit's going on today. That shit's going on today. And what else would this guy do? If they'll shoot a dude in a van and marry off little girls to grown men, what evidently there's nothing they won't do. What else? What the fuck else is there? What the fuck else is there? They'll murder people, shoot people, cover up for molesting gurus, and then sit there like they're fucking the Dalai Lama. Oh, I'm going to give a class. I'm going to give a class on Chaitanya and Advaita.
So we may glorify Srila Advaita Acharya Prabhu. We ask for the blessings of
the nerve of these scumbags. The nerve of these scumbags. Hey, we just spun the wheel, man. I don't know where I don't know if you were like eating prasadam or what you were doing, but we just spun it. You're guilty, Your Honor. Yeah, exactly. And he's gonna sit there. You know what? If this is what I say, you want to be called Your Holiness. You want to be called Your Grace. You want to sit there and call yourself a Swami and say that you have transcendental knowledge and you want to lecture to us. Well, how about you just tell us everything you know about what happened in New Vrindavan? Let's start there. Start there and give us a lecture about what you know. What you know, what you saw. Tell us that. That's what we want to know. We don't give a shit about what's in these books. We want to know what you know about that murder. We want to know if you were there, who you saw, who you talked to, what was going on. I know the FBI talked to you. The FBI talked to you. The friggin' West Virginia Sheriff's Department talked to you. Fucking LAPD talked to you. Why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell us what you told the friggin' FBI and the fucking West Virginia Police Department, LAPD, what you know about this murder? Why don't you tell us what you know about this murder? We know you talked to the FBI. They interviewed everybody that was in New Vrindavan. You're one of the top people there. So why don't you tell us what you know? And a stupid fucking smile on your face. Because he knows he got away with it. He knows he got away with it, and he can sit there and bullshit and scam people and get money and do whatever the fuck he wants with no fucking anything.
And I thank you all for the wonderful program last night.
I thank you all for the wonderful money that you give me and all the ways that I can scam you. And scamming Paz's brother. This guy's scamming Paz's brother. Paz comes into this chat, and he's not here today, but he comes in here and he tells us how his brother is just like brainwashed into this shit. Had a good job as a software engineer. Had a whole future ahead of him. Ran into these fucking nuts in New York City. Got a goddamn book. Now he's washing this guy's feet, drinking the water. Thinks this guy's like God to him. This guy's telling him there's a demon head eating the moon. The guy won't talk to his parents. The guy won't talk to his family. When he talks to them, he's like a zombie, he says. He says he's 100% in. There's no getting him out. He's 100% in. He ain't coming out till he wants to get out. So basically, the guy, Paz's brother, is done. He's done. His family life is done. He's not brother and son and any of that. Now he's Goofy Ananda or whatever his name is. He doesn't go by the name his parents gave him. He doesn't. He doesn't. This guy. This guy's everything to him now. This guy thinks this guy is friggin' God to him. That's what this cult does. That's what this cult does to people. Meanwhile, they want justice for Prabhupada. We need justice for Prabhupada. The guy the Justice for Srila Prabhupada Foundation, the fucker that is responsible for all this bullshit, for all the child marriage, the domestic abuse, all the Rupa Manjaris, all the Naranarayans he created, all the Rupa Manjaris he caused, all the children to be abused. Not just abused, these little kids were tortured. They were tortured in the Gurukula. And they want justice for this guy. They want justice for this fuck. You believe that shit? You know what's coming. You know what's coming.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Okay, all right, everybody. That's that covers it. Because Krishna's a thief. Yeah. Hey, next time, pay attention. You won't miss the wheel. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks a lot for joining in today, man. It's great. We're really rocking and rolling. I love everybody in here. We even had my daughter in here, Jabron. It's great to see you. Can't wait to see you when you come visit. You're going to be here in be here in like 2 months, and you can come on camera with me, and we're going to have so much fun. Has the whole world gone crazy?
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, I know. It like a soul snatcher. The guy, it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I know. Hey, I love you all too, man. We're having a great time here. I have so much fun. I'm having more fun doing this than I ever had in the Hare Krishnas. And tell a friend, man. Come on in here, have a great time with us, and laugh and joke, and just associate with us. We'll have it's the ghosty, like you said. This is the greatest the ghosty. So So everybody, Tim Wallace, everybody, I want to thank everybody, Eliana, Dagmar. I want to thank Rafal for sending the videos, Jaya Ganapati, Fake Human, of course. It's not the same without Fake Human. Don't ever leave us, Fake Human. It's not the same. Dahlia and 6781 and Gilbert Ramos, Weird Planet. Everybody, if I missed your name, I do apologize, but Shri Mad, great for you. I'm glad you're here, Shri Mad. Everybody, and everybody out there that's not joining in and not commenting, you gotta, join in the fun. It's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. So everybody, please have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, a great evening. Have some great luck, and stay out of a cult. And I didn't do the opening today, so I think I'm going to do the opening and the closing. So everybody, here's the opening to be followed by the closing.
Hello?